All right. Today we're going to check out Folklands. This was sent over from Twitter. Asked me to check this one out, give it a look, give it some feedback. So let's check it out. It's got it installed already. So let's go ahead and load it up and see what we got here. I think this is a game made by three brothers, so that's cool. Always nice to be able to work with your family on a project like this. It says three brothers making a cozy, retro-inspired settlement builder, a love letter to classics like Settlers, Anno, and the Caesar Pharaoh games. So starts off right away with a cool menu system. Actually, looks really good. I mean, I think the quality is really high. I do see a weird, as I scroll over this here, it's got like a slight fuzziness on the font that's happening. I'm not sure what's causing that, but options in general are cool. I mean, I like the display option, having the ability to choose via your different monitors if you have multiple monitors set up. Obviously, you saw mine on there. Having the Discord link right here on the main screen is nice. That's a huge touch. I wish more people would understand that. So let's just get started with a single player. We'll just kind of leave all the options as default and roll right into it. But like I said, do have a good looking menu system, so I can appreciate that. Nice and clean, didn't seem overbearing, kind of soft tones, easy on the eyes, no wild font. So now let's check out the game and see what it looks like. So loading right in, adding hinge bricks. I always love to see random little comments as things are loading. I know Discord does a great job with that itself. So, all right, we're starting right away. A new start. Arrived at the land. Surveyors have found all the resources. As soon as we've chosen the starting point, we can get to work with the tasks. Obviously, showing right away the nice effects. Oh, and you can go ahead and move. Interesting note here. The scrolling is not super smooth. As I'm moving around the map, it feels like the frame rate is low. That's kind of odd. I mean, generally everything runs fine on here. I mean, I'm running on an RTX 3080, so not generally a performance issue. But yeah, I wonder if it's like an optimization thing maybe that will come later. But that's definitely something of note. It just doesn't feel smooth as I'm scrolling. It's like 20 FPS for some reason. I'm not sure why that's happening, but either way, moving on. All right, so we're gonna establish the settlement here. Obviously, just build builder set. We have to build builders. Anyone who's played these types of games before should be kind of familiar with this concept, so that's nice. Again, as mentioned, it's a love letter to some of those games. Just click through the menus here, and the nice thing that I can appreciate here is it looks like everything is kind of, this is like tutorial style, right? Everything is not thrown at you all at once. So like when you click the build menu, you've only got, one option in there, and some of these other menus only have one option, which is really nice. You can only build the builder's hut, and that's it. So many games have a tendency to just kind of spew information at you all at once. And when you do that, you can overwhelm some players, and so you're not able to really control how they learn. And so that can lead to frustrations maybe later on as some of the features kind of come at them too fast. So it's a really nice touch to keep that stepped. Basically, it's a stepping stone, right? Like you have to do one thing and then the next thing is unlocked. So that's really nice. So let's build a couple of things here. It looks like we can build roads, we can build bridges, although obviously a bridge would need some sort of water to go over. Road building is pretty simple. I would say it's pretty in line with everything else in the genre. There's our workers. I'm going to go ahead and get things started. You saw on the bottom right, obviously you can see the quest is down there now. That shows what kind of our quest is, and then it seems as though as we pop up, as we progress, we get nice little pop-ups to show us what we're doing. So I think that's really helpful. It's awesome. Let's speed some of this along and kind of skip through some of the stuff, because a lot of this looks pretty standard. Let's see if anything kind of jumps out as unique at us. Oh, that jumped out actually. The kind of almost cell shading effect. Oh, I like that destroying effect. The smoke itself didn't really match in with the aesthetic of the game. It was cool looking, but the quality seemed a little bit weird on that smoke. Maybe even too high quality compared to kind of this retro-inspired look. So may want to look at making some adjustments to that. But I do like the cell shading style that's set up on, for example, the wagon on the left side of the screen, and the settlement, and then obviously the hut that we're building. That's a cool effect. So that looks really good. It's an interesting mix between this kind of retro styling or art, and again, we're using retro meaning older games, obviously, and newer styles, kind of with that cell shading, which I guess is realistically probably retro at this point, with this how far back cell shading kind of showed up in gaming, all the way back to around the 90s. So yeah, I heard a little voice acting there as well. That was cool. It sounded like it could have been some AI. Not really a big deal. I mean, even if it is, not a big deal here. It's just, the sounds that NPCs would make as you click them, which...
how's
there
it
we go.
going then?
Hey, how's it going then?
Fine day for a walk, isn't it?
A good day, is it?
Yeah, and so that likens me. I always go back to
going,
early strategy games days for me, back like Warcraft 2, like not World of Warcraft, but like Warcraft, like way back. And so I always appreciate when you clicked on the guys and you got the little voice notes each time you clicked one of them. Kind of gives that little bit of personality, and then obviously they have names to them, which is helpful as well. Something else that can also be appreciated here is not only the music, but I do want to mention kind of the soundscape. So obviously I've sped up the video portion of this, but left the sound the same, so we can kind of pick some pieces out of that. As you're scrolling over and watching something being built, you hear those nice, hammering, like hammer hitting something kind of effects, which is really cool, and it looks like it's a 3D effect. So as I move away from it, you don't hear it anymore, which is really nice. Obviously, you've got all the clicking in here for each thing that you click, like kind of each interaction that you make, which is something that gets lost a lot in indie games and smaller studios. That sound has such an impact on. It's like a haptic feedback. So again, we've got a lot of sounds. Every time I click something, basically, I'm kind of hearing a sound here, which is really nice. And then including, you've got the music in the background, which is just nice and calming. Fits really well with it. I mean, there's no reason to amp it up at this point in the game. It's just a very cozy style game. So you just want to keep that soft. And then you've got things like birds chirping in the background. I mean, overall, the soundscape is really good. I'm really, really impressed with what's been done here on the soundscape. You can see as I'm building here, not necessarily doing the best job with what I can and can't do. I'm not sure if there's a way to, in certain games, obviously, as I would knock down trees, right, that would give me more space in that area. I don't know if there's a way to kind of force that where I can clear some trees or rocks or something out so that I can actually build a road or a house or a farm or whatever, a well. Can I build something in those areas by clearing out some of the environment, or do I have to just kind of let that happen naturally as my little workers are chopping things down? I also just found the speed up button in the game, which is nice. I kind of said to myself, oh, I wish I could speed this up right now, and I looked at the top and there it was. And I see there's hotkeys for that 1, 2, and 3 on the keyboard again, which is really nice. Definitely make sure anyone out there working on these types of games, your play speed may not be the same as someone else's play speed. And you can kind of set that standardized speed, but you always want to give the player the option to increase that speed. Just in case, hey, maybe they like to do things faster, or maybe certain tasks they don't want to just sit there and stare at. So having that speed advancement is huge. So definitely appreciate that as well. And really just some closing thoughts. I mean, we've got, in my opinion, a very good-looking game here. I mean, I've got, all the things I would expect to find in a cozy settlement builder type of game. So, all the usual suspects are here. Nothing really jumps out at me as necessarily unique so far at this point. I mean, I don't know if there's really a unique selling point that's being pitched here in the game that's kind of different than some other previous games in the past, but we know what it does. It understands what it is as a game. It seems like these guys, these three brothers that are working on it, understand, hey, we're making a game that is paying homage to some of these other games, so let's make sure we have, in our opinions, kind of some of the best features from those, and kind of giving it to you in a nice, well-wrapped presentation with, again, a nice clean UI system. You can see, at the top, there's several different things you can click with the progression system. You can kind of look at what things will be unlocked as you go. You can quickly, at a glance, see things like how many people you have and how many houses, how many people you can house. All that stuff there at the top, happiness rating. I mean, it's nice to have all that stuff really quick and easy without having to click it. So huge applaud goes out for these guys making a UI that I think is great because so many people get lost and confused in what they're doing in their UI. So yeah, appreciate you guys sharing this. Definitely worth checking out on Steam Next Fest. Glad I checked it out, and thanks for sending it over on Twitter. For everyone else, we'll see you next time.